guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be unveiling the new project that's going to keep me busy on the channel for probably a good couple of months, if not more, and that's this nice little VW T4 transporter. I just picked this up last week. I haven't touched it at all. This is literally how it was when I picked it up, other than giving it a quick wash, as you can see by the water on the floor. But this is a 2001 1.9 TD transporter. It's in really nice condition considering its age. There's a couple of little dings and scratches, but not a lot, and there's very little rust considering its age as well. As you can see by some of the ghost writing that might come out anywhere, it actually used to belong to a furniture manufacturer and installation company. So it hasn't been a builder's van or a painter's, decorator's van, anything like that. It's pretty much just had furniture in and out, and then after that it went on to somebody who did a little campervan conversion themselves, which I'll show in a second, which I'm going to basically rip out and start all over again. But the van itself, it's, as I say, it's not a bad example really. It's only 170,000 miles, which to some people sounds a lot, but to other people that know these vans know 170,000 is pretty much just running these engines in. As long as they're maintained and the belts are done, these will run easily into 250, 300,000 miles and beyond. So as I say, it's quite low mileage considering its year. It's the short wheelbase version, and I have done a T4 on my channel before. The very first main project on the channel was a T4 high top, and I did that after having previously owned a T4 long wheelbase that I liked so much. I wanted to do another one, and that's what basically kicked this channel off about 4 years ago now. Now, I've done plenty of vans in between, but I always wanted to go back to a T4, but finding one that was local with relatively low mileage that was not stupidly expensive has just been quite hard to find. So when this one cropped up and it was only 30 miles away, I basically snapped at the chance, and here we are. This is going to be the next project for the channel. Now, as I say, somebody has tried to do a bit of a campervan conversion on the inside, but very basic. All they've done is basically just put a bed inside, so all that's going to get ripped out. But before I do any of that, there are some mechanicals that need doing to the van as well. The van currently doesn't have any MOT, and to get it legal on the road, I know of at least a couple of bits it's going to need doing. One of them being the rear spring for the suspension on this side here. The coil spring itself is snapped underneath, so I've got the replacement set of springs for both sides, passenger and driver side. I'm not fitting lowering springs or anything like that. The priority at the moment is to get the van up and running on the road and roadworthy. So for the price of some standard springs, that's all I'm going to be fitting for now. Stance isn't important, roadworthiness is. So that's going to be one of the main things I'm going to be doing first of all, just to get the van available for use on the road itself, replacing the coil springs, which shouldn't be that much of a difficult job really from what I've seen online, and that'll be coming up in a future video. There's also a couple of daft little things that I know would potentially fail an MOT, like the passenger door release handle over there. For some reason that's snapped off, and that would probably fail an MOT as well. As there's a couple of small little bits and bobs and jobs that need ticking off just to get it looking that little bit tidier. In the engine bay, for some reason the pollen filter is, the cabin filter is completely gone, so I'm looking for a new housing off eBay for that. Someone's fitted a K&N air filter, and I don't like the way that's just basically been duct taped and left there, sat there. So I've got a new air filter housing on order, and that's currently on its way to me as well. I say, since I bought the van, I've ordered a lot of things online as well. Now, one thing that has wondered me is why there's a little pipe there that's tied up and gapped off. So if anybody who knows these engines knows why that's there, and also why this particular tube might be running out of that wiring loom, let me know in the comments. I don't know whether that was going to this pipe here or not, but why that's being capped off, I have no idea. And as I say, I'm not a mechanic, I haven't really worked on these engines much. So if you know what that little pipe was for and why it's capped off, again, let me know down in the comments below. Now, the bodywork itself, there's a couple of scratches, a couple of dents, as you would expect with what, a 21-year-old van. But in general overall condition, almost all the panels are very straight. The worst offender is the sliding door. As you can see, there's a bit of ripple and a scratch there at the lower edge of the sliding door. That should be able to get filled over and smoothed back, because I will be giving the van a full respray. But unlike some of the recent vans I've done, I'm not going to be doing a Raptor respray on this. This will get a standard vehicle paint respray, which again I'll probably do myself because I've got all the guns and the compressors, things like that. Now it is a lift up tailgate on the back, unlike the previous two T4s that I had that both had the open and barn doors on the side. So with this being the up and over tailgate, I might even go down the route of having some sort of shower fitted into the back of here, but that's going to be well down the line yet, so plenty of decisions yet to make. But as I say, it's a relatively clean, straightforward, honest looking van that I'm looking forward to actually digging into and getting stuck in to get it converted. And on the inside, it's got the standard double and single seats. The driver's seat is the proper captain's seat that has both armrests as well. Now I will be replacing these seats. I do prefer to have some standard single seats with the passenger that's going to be on a swivel base. I've already ordered the swivel base, that's already arrived, and I have some Audi TT seats already in the house that have been there from a couple of years ago when I was just buying up stuff just in case, basically. So I'm going to be ripping these seats out. I'm going to be replacing the double seat with a single passenger seat. It's going to be leather black seats out of an Audi TT, and the passenger will be on a swivel to face into the back. Now in the back itself, it's quite dark, but you can see somebody's, I'd say they've had a good go at converting it out. A bit of sticky vinyl just stuck onto the roof lining just to make it a little neater. The sides have been carpeted, but I don't know what's behind these. I don't know if there's any insulation behind these panels or not. You would presume there is, but because I don't know, I'm just going to have to take it down and have a look and do an inspection. Now you can see someone's basically just created a bed on wheels. That's all this is. It's even just held together with Jubilee clips, but it's done the job for whatever they wanted it for. But all of this is going to get ripped out. I'm going to be taking out the half bulkhead as well, even though they've carpeted over it, because I'm going to have a passenger seat that's going to be swivelling around to face the back. That bulkhead's going to have to get removed as well. Now it does have sliding doors on both sides, but that side is pretty much going to get just boarded over. And I am unsure on what type of conversion to do inside here, so let me know what you think of the options below. It will either be a rock and roll, standard rock and roll bed, but a rock and roll bed that I would build myself, and that would just come forwards as you've seen many times. It's the standard T4 layout really. You have a side cabinet going down there and a rock and roll bed here. The other option is to have a side facing bed going down the side with a little kitchen pod down here, and that bed would then pull out to extend into more of a double width bed, similar to how I had in the actual the T4 high top that I did on the channel when I very first started this channel off. And I am sort of leaning towards that way because it does allow you to use the van as a van. You can get planks of plywood, wood, things like that in between the bed and the kitchen unit that are on the side, whereas if you have a rock and roll bed, you have very little limited space to get big bulky items into the van. And because I do my conversions, I do like to be able to use the van as a van at the same time as well. So I'm leaning towards having a side facing bed with a little kitchen unit down this side. But let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. What do you think would be the best way forward? What do you prefer in these layouts? Do you prefer the rock and roll beds, or do you prefer the slightly different bed down the side layouts? I'm going to have to rip all the flooring up as well, because this is just cheap lino, and I absolutely despise using lino on flooring inside a van. It punctures far too easily. I've stepped on a couple of screws on the couple of occasions where I have used lino, and it's just gone straight through, straight in, and just ruined the flooring. So that's going to get ripped up, and that will get replaced with some Ultra safety flooring as well. But as you can see, the condition of the van is quite good. Normally the steps, they're starting to get rotted away on this age van, but this is again really nice, really clean, good condition. So it has been a well cared for, well looked after van from the looks of it. I might even try and get in touch with the company that still has the sign slightly on the side there, just to see how long they had the van, see if I can get any more history. It all adds to the story of the van. But it's, as I say, it's a nice, relatively clean, relatively tidy van. It has electric windows, electric mirrors, the usuals. Nothing big or fancy, but you didn't get anything big or fancy in these vans. It's just a works van at the end of the day. But it will turn into quite a comfortable, quite a cosy, nice little camper van when it's all finished. But the very first job I'm going to be doing is ripping out this bed and the internal conversion that's already been done, just to free up the space inside. And then I'll be starting on some of the mechanics. So let's get cracked on and get some of all this stuff ripped out from the inside. Right guys, so there we go, that's the van stripped back as much as I'm going to take it back for now. I say I will be taking some of the carpeting back as well, just so I can inspect to see what's behind them, see if it has been insulated or not. I'll also be taking the roof lining down as well, because I don't like the vinyl that's up here, and there's also just bubble insulation on the roof. I'd rather put a bit more substantial insulation up there, and I will be mounting a solar panel to the roof anyway, so it's all going to have to come down just so I can mount the solar panel and get all the cabling ran, get the brackets for the panel secured, things like that. But as you can see, there's the old bed and frame, things like that removed, so it's probably taken somebody a couple of days, maybe a week or more to build out. It's all been removed within a couple of minutes, and it gets it back to a bare blank canvas ready for me to start working on. Now I will have to replace the floor as well, because this flooring is cut sideways rather than lengthways, so I'll replace it with some lengthways cut boards, and then where it's actually cut will probably go underneath either the cupboard or the bed, depending on which layout I decide. But it does give an opportunity to actually raise this floor up, and as you can see, the floor plan of this van, very clean, very tidy, no rust, no previous weld marks or anything like that. So it shows it should be a good solid van to start building out. So there we go, this is the new project that's going to be keeping me busy on the channel for a good few months, probably, maybe more. I say there's mechanicals to do, I've got the rear springs to do, a couple of other bits before I even think about putting it in for its MOT. There's going to be bodywork to do before it gets a full respray as well, and there's going to be the full conversion inside as well. Now let me know what sort of conversion I should be doing inside down in the comments below, if you think I should go for the standard usual rock and roll bed type layout, or something different with a side lane bed with a cupboard, kitchen cupboard on the other side, which leaves some space in the middle for using the van to transport goods around. That's it, I'm undecided at the moment, so let me know what you think, and then you never know, that might sway my decision as well. But if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. As I say, there's going to be lots of content coming with this van, and once this one's done, there'll probably be another one after this as well down the line. So plenty of jobs, plenty of content to come, and hopefully over the next couple of months we'll see this van being converted into quite a nice lovely little camper van. So thanks for watching this introduction video to this VW T4 for the channel. As I say, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you already have, thanks for that, and hopefully follow along with the conversion, and I'll see you on next week's episode of this T4 campervan conversion. Thanks for watching, cheers.